We are, in fact, raid ready. I believe all the raids are 565. And I am currently 572. So that should be fine. That should work. Let's see, I believe the quest giver was right over here. Namjiji. Namjiji nods at you as if she was expecting your arrival. The crystal from beyond. Some good old 9 materia. It's nice. I don't know if I need... Well, I do need a couple skill speeds, so this is somewhat helpful. It appears my calculations were correct. I knew that at this very spot, I would encounter none other than Moemetal, the hero who saw us through the final days. So certain was I of my math that I stood here for... well, let's not concern ourselves with that. I am Namjiji, assistant to one Professor Claudine. Claudian. We work with the Ideascope to observe the ethereal sea and delve into its myriad mysteries. Some mysteries, though, are beyond our capabilities to unravel. The strange crystal we but recently discovered, for instance, defies our every conjecture. I need my chapstick. My lips are feeling dry. First interruption to the stream. Only 10 minutes in. Oh, God. Oh. 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 I essentially just drank my chapstick. Why did I do a chapstick first? Why did I do that? Ugh. Lord. Alright. You've been to the center of the star and far beyond it. However... and far beyond it, however. So we hope that you may see something in this crystal that we academics do not. I beg you lend us your well-traveled eye at Aporia. Professor Claudian will be eagerly awaiting your arrival. Oh, I need to go to Labyrinthus. That Aporia. Right. That Aporia. I'm sorry. Sorry, sometimes. You know, I've been here all the time. I remember. I can't believe I forgot. It's my bad. Is this Professor Claudian someone I know? Is this the guy that knows the Levier family? I don't think so. I think that guy was older and had brown hair. So it could be the guy on the left. Greetings, Mermetal, and welcome to my humble laboratory. I am sure Namjiji has already told you plenty about us, but allow me to introduce myself personally. I am Claudian, leader of this little research collective. I must admit, I have been nervous about this meeting ever since Namjiji set out to find you. For a researcher in my field, there is no greater an honor than to meet the first woman in history to traverse the ethereal sea and return to tell the tale. The Professor speaks often and at length of your deeds, but he has no small number of achievements to his own name. He has peered deeper into the ethereal sea than any other Sharlayan, and the breadth of his knowledge is peerless. Peerless, perhaps, but for a single woman. Peerless, perhaps, but for a single woman. Oh, he's saying like, yeah, I have peerless knowledge, but we have Moa Metal here, man. You know, okay. perhaps, but for a single woman. We must seize this precious opportunity to learn what we can from her, and perhaps crack this conundrum that has stumped the three of us for moons. It was we who peered into the fathomless sea from the Anti-Tower in the Dravanian hinterlands. There we spoke with Eidolon, and learned of the fate that would befall this star, the final days. Soon thereafter, all research was moved to Labyrinthos, and through the Ideoscope did we continue our vigil. As impressive a work as the device is, however, it can glimpse but a fraction of the sea's infinite depths. Which brings us to the matter at hand. Not long after the Exodus was declared, we recovered an unusual crystal shard during a routine observation. It appeared before us suddenly, as if propelled to the surface by some unknown force. We found that it possessed an ethereal density that exceeds that of normal crystals by orders of magnitude. The shape resembles nothing which occurs in the natural world. It was made, not formed. Unfortunately, that was the extent of the information we would glean before we were forced to turn our focus towards the Exodus. The crystal was very nearly forgotten amidst the sudden upheaval. But thanks to the efforts of a certain someone, that crisis is now behind us, and we are free to resume our research. Thus did we decide to seek you out, the dauntless adventurer who delved into the unknown and beheld its innermost secrets, and now we would have you to see for yourself. Here's the crystal in question. If it resembles aught you have encountered before, even by the smallest degree, please say so. It's one of the... Someone from the convocation. As I thought, you do know what this is. Please, tell me everything. Are we? When? We just don't care. I mean, like, what does it matter if he knows, you know? I guess it really doesn't. I see. The Asiads use these to transfer their memories to new vessels. Fascinating indeed. It is plain that this crystal was special somehow, but this revelation surpasses even my considerable expectations. Similar artifacts have appeared throughout the ages. Memories of martial techniques manifested as crystalline shards on the battlefield, or stored stones passed away from master to student. A comparison between said artifacts and this crystal may prove a fruitful first step in unveiling its true nature. What do you think, Professor? Asian memories. Windows through which we can gaze upon the convocation of 14. Unlike the crystal and Moa Metal story, this one does not bear the mark of the convocation. Who, then, could these memories belong to? And more importantly, why were they stored in this particular shard? More importantly still, why was it set adrift on the ethereal sea? Loses himself in his research. Professor! Professor Claudian! Huh? Yes. I'm well aware that contemplation is the key to breakthrough, but there is propriety to consider. We have a guest, one you invited explicitly. Must we do this every time? What? Yes, of course, our guest. Terribly sorry. I do so easily find myself unmoored by the tides of rumination. Perhaps a more engaging use of your time with us would be for you to take up that crystal. If indeed there are memories stored within, they may reveal themselves to you upon contact. If anyone message, come. Pandæmonium. Please. Faces. Grave threat. Start. In danger. That expression does not bode well. What did you see? It's what I heard. Pandæmonium is not a word I have heard before. If my knowledge of the ancient tongue serves me, it means all demons. Not a name that inspires optimism, all things considered. In the event that another star-shattering cataclysm is in fact bearing down upon us, I would have the aforementioned examples of crystallized memory to hand. Njiji? Ruisano? Ruisano, I entrust the procurement to you. If there are more memories to be extracted from this crystal, we will find them. As for you, Mometal, there is a person I would have you seek, the one who has delivered so dire a warning. The story tells us that this crystal could very well have been made by one of the ancients. If that is the case, then discerning the nature of this pandemonium would require a trip far into the past, to an era before the Sundering. I know of only one individual capable of such a feat, the very hero who traversed time to prevent the world's doom. Everyone knows about that? I just told everyone everything I did, didn't I? I must confess, the tales people tell of your adventures beg a belief, and their veracity has been a subject of much debate among my peers. After today's meeting, however, there can be no doubt in my mind that every incredible exploit is fact. So I ask you now, return to the past, find out what and where Pandæmonium is. And if we need be concerned by this message. Thank you. For the time being, you should keep the crystal in your possession. I do not think you have seen the last of its memories, and more may be drawn out as you approach their source. Safe travels, and may we meet again soon to share our findings. How are you supposed to draw out more memories you got yourselves, though, if I have the crystal? You, like, made a copy of its etheric makeup? Welcome, my lady. If you wish to go to the ocular, I should be glad to escort you. I have no guarantee this is gonna work again. Unless we use the crystal. If receives this message. Come. Pandæmonium. Quickly. Okay. Ugh. Could it be? No, of course not. Apologies, but for the briefest moment I thought you to be a dear friend of mine. I realize now that such a notion is preposterous. She told me a falling star would appear before me, and I suppose you must be it? Truth be told, I did not expect the expression to be so literal. Themis. Apologies for not introducing myself properly. My name is Themis. As you can see by my bare face, I am not one of Elpis's observers. Rather, I am come here on an assignment, which has been more or less routine up until this very moment. You certainly do know how to make quite an entrance. I must wonder what brought you here, for it is plain that you do not belong here, or any place I know for that matter. It appears my initial impression was not so preposterous after all. I did not know my friend had such a unique familiar at her disposal. If you are here at Azim's behest, then I believe I can hazard a guess as to your purpose. You are here to investigate Pandæmonium, yes? If so, we may be able to help one another. But first, might I trouble you to explain how you came to collide with my skull? Okay, so I went with the familiar lie again, weirdly enough. I see. I believe that dispels any major doubts I had concerning your intentions. Apologies for being so intrusive, but you must understand this is an uncommon occurrence. I shall pry no further, for I am well aware that we all have secrets we must keep. However, if I may, I would very much like to take a look at this crystal of yours. Fascinating. While I cannot say much as to what it contains, it is clear that there are memories stirring within. Memories that speak of something gravely amiss in Pandæmonium. What is Pandæmonium? The facility extends beneath Elpis and is overseen by the words of La Habrea. It houses those creations that are highly valued as research subjects and highly dangerous to the star. Naturally, it is strictly guarded and under constant surveillance. Several days ago, however, an unnatural shift in the flow of its surrounding ether was detected. Soon thereafter, all communications from Pandæmonium ceased. I am here as a representative of an organization that works directly with the Convocation, and have been tasked with investigating this incident. Now, there is some measure of transparency between us. Might I offer a suggestion as to what we should do next? Sure. What do you got? Break in there? Beat up some fools? I don't have enough determination. Now then, my proposal is a simple one. Let us journey to Pandæmonium together. Our destination is the same, and I suspect the arrangement would work to our mutual benefit. Besides, I should have no trouble gaining us both access. I do hope you agree. I would be loath to part ways in the falling star I had been waiting for so long. Originally, I had planned to conduct my investigation with the friend I mentioned earlier. She had also noticed the anomaly near Pandæmonium, so it only seemed natural that we should investigate it together. However, she eventually decided that it would be unwise for both of us to go. If two members of our organization were seen poking our heads about restricted facilities, could raise questions, you see. I decided to go alone, but she left me with these words: "Fear not, for in my absence a star shall fall before you." While I could not comprehend her meaning at the time, I believe now I understand. She does have a way of being right about these things. Even so, her hints of what to come are generally more cryptic. I suppose I should have kept my gaze to the heavens. Suffice it to say that I am grateful for your presence either way. As for the matter at hand, we must first gain permission from the words of La Habrea for entry into Pandæmonium. There ought to be a speaker waiting at Anagnorisis. I still can't pronounce that word for the life of myself. A very hard time. Din, din, din. Ha, ha, bam, bam. I sent a request for permission before setting forth to Elbis. With the luck, we shall not be waiting too long. What a fascinating etheric signature. In accordance with the Convocation's request, the two of you have been granted leave to observe Pandæmonium. I shall register your ether for the records. From this point on, you may freely come and go from Pandæmonium as you please. Now that was a painless process. I take this as a sign that we were meant to conduct our investigations together. Of course, while you have been permitted entry into the facility, the specimens housed inside must be handled with the utmost care. You are to heed the warden's instructions at all times. Those who conduct their work within Pandæmonium are called warders, for their role with respect to the creatures within. Generally, creations that pose a threat to the safety of the star must be undone. However, the words of La Habrea has deemed certain such creations as worthy of further study, entering them within the facility. Those who spend their days in Pandæmonium not merely researchers. They must work tirelessly to ensure that none of the subjects slip their shackles. For all intents and purposes, this place is a dungeon. Perhaps such a comparison arouses frightful imagery, but Pandæmonium is a frightful place. I know not the purpose of your investigation, But if you discover aught that merits a report, pray do so with the utmost haste. Master Lahabrea shall guide us upon the proper course of action from there. Then I take it that means you have detected nothing amiss as of late? The warders have reported nothing that would cause alarm. Minor fluctuations in ether have been observed, but surely Master Lahabrea would have acted if there were anything worth worrying about. I see. It appears Lahabrea is kept well abreast of the goings-on here, then. I hope I am not overstepping my boundaries by asking, but you seem to be quite familiar with Master Lahabrea. Do you know him? We've met. But a mere familiar would have had the honor to meet Master Lahabrea. He is not known to easily afford others his time, so you must be extraordinary indeed to be granted even a moment of it. Regardless, while I doubt I need tell you this, he is of the Convocation. Take care that your actions do not hinder his work. And with that, we are free to make our way to Pandæmonium. The naos that will take us there is on the eastern bank of Leth. Let us delay no further. Ooh, my back, my back. So this is interesting so far, in a couple senses. I'm wondering where, like, Vana and all of them are right now, and what the time period is exactly that this is taking place. Like, is this taking place before I arrived initially, or after I arrived? So, like, if I ran into them, will they not remember me? What if it's during? What if, like, when Emmett Selk, like, ran off in a fit of rage due to my tail, met me and was like, wait, weren't you just over there? I was like, yeah, I tried to travel back again. He's like, oh yeah? I don't know. I don't know exactly where it takes place. I'm going to assume it takes place afterward, and Vana's gone, and Emmett, Hermes, and Flodeus are also probably gone. That's my guess. I had to contain my surprise for the sake of appearances. But is it true that that you too have met Lahabrea in the flesh? I find you more fascinating by the moment. Still, I shall refrain from asking too many questions. Secrets will make our journey all the more intriguing. We shall come to know each other in time, I wager, or else why would fate have orchestrated our meeting? In any case, let us be off. Truth be told, this will be my first time beholding the fabled Pandæmonium with my own eyes. Here's to a new adventure, eh? Yeah, I want to see this place. I've been so interested for a while. Whoa! Luigi's mansion, dude. This is very... as much as I feared. The speaker seemed in such high spirits that for a moment I thought the ethereal irregularity not nearly so grave a portent as I had imagined. Alas, 'twas a fleeting and vain hope. To gaze upon this complex network of chains and wards, the untrained eye might not sense anything awry. No effort has been spared in making this place impenetrable. And creepy. Why not do railings and spikes on the edges? Or do they want them to be in pain as they fall off? What if they can fly? Do you have a... I'm just thinking about different creatures. Then even the finest of masterworks is not without its flaws, however. Someone, or something, is tampering with the protections. It is working from within, eroding them from the inside out. Fear not. There is no immediate danger. I reinforced what protections I could the moment we arrived. This will not put an end to whatever is occurring, but it shall at least serve to slow its progress. One small victory, though the road ahead of us is yet long. Yes, powerful forces are at work here. The silence in the air speaks volumes. Well, I did not expect a bustling facility. I see not a single warder. Our first course of action should be to seek one out, wherever they may be. However, there is something you must know. The magic I wove upon entering requires constant awareness. That is to say, if we are forced to fight, I cannot risk joining you in battle. Should I lose focus, Pandæmonium's protections will rapidly crumble before the force assailing them. Were there another way, I would gladly choose it, but let us at least be grateful that neither of us is here alone, trapped in hopeless circumstances. If we should fail to find a peaceable solution, then I hope that I can rely on your strength to see us through. Bruh. No problem, dude. I'm as familiar. I have a similar level of strength. I have 9/14 of her strength. Thank you for offering your help so willingly. If weapons are drawn, I hope to be able to lend at least a touch of magical support. Oh, excuse me. Creation magics do have their uses in that regard. I had it in mind to use your ether as basis for illusory allies that will fight at your side. Perhaps 7 shall do? Not exactly an army, but by the looks of you, a formidable band nonetheless. And so it shall be. Now, what, I wonder, awaits us in Pandæmonium's pitiless halls? Interesting way to explain that. Just like, you know, you shouldn't fight alone. How about 7 companions? I'll make him. He's about to make the weirdest motley crew of all time. The first one. Asphodelos, the First Circle, the discovery of a crystal born from the far reaches of the ethereal sea, and the desperate plea contained within lead you once more to Elpis, where your trajectory quite literally collides you with that of a young man named Themis. Like you, he is here for answers, seeking the source of an etheric disturbance culminating in loss of contact with the Gaul housing the ancients' most dangerous creations. It is this place, this Pandæmonium, into which you now descend. Level 565. I am a decent bit above that. I need to go repair my gear after this raid. After this one or the next one. We're going to try and get as many of these raids done as possible, but the story with these raids can be long. So we'll see if I'm able to get all 4 done tonight. If not, I might get 2 done. I do have some people coming over in a couple hours actually, so I need to keep an eye on that coming up. So just something to keep in mind. I might only be able to get like 1 or 2 done, especially with any potential wait times. Looks like we're looking for tanks. Why are tanks so sparse right now? I mean, actually that's a dumb question. There's a new healer and a new DPS. It's really not that surprising, and DPS are getting a bunch of buffs. But tanks can heal themselves now. Like, that's almost really interesting. Well, two of the tanks can heal themselves very well. Warrior and Paladin, I think? Dark Knight is like the worst tank currently. I think. Ironically. Ironically, Dark Knight's the worst tank. That was not the case. Like last DLC, Dark Knight was by far the best. And it was like the main class job too. Class/job. I could be very wrong, I don't play tank. But from my understanding, Dark Knight, Blackest Knight, and the Dark Arts and all that stuff was just ridiculous. But then this DLC, Paladin's like the main MSQ job, and it's like not anywhere near the best. While we wait, why don't I pull up some Final Fantasy Reddit. And that one. Perfect. I can see if I pop into queue. Alright, let's see here. That's a sick Gaia cosplay. That legitimately doesn't look real, RTX be like. I'm pretty sure Y'shtola is going to find a way to travel between the sources, but I sincerely doubt the first is going to be a focus, like, at all. Again, I mean, it's definitely going to be utilized. I just don't think it's going to be remotely. I don't even think it's going to be like a side focus. Like, you know how like it's like Garlemald and Thavnir were really brief in the story, but they were still like a primary side location of sorts. I think the first would be close to that, but I don't even think they would be on the same level. I think the other, because we don't have that many other shards left. There aren't many reflections left of the source of Aetheris. There are very, very, very few. Oh, shoot. There are, I'm glad I caught that. There are, because the 13th is destroyed, and they've rejoined 7 times. There's a total of 8 in Aetheris. So, there are 5 left? No. Oh, I'll save them. I must. This appears to be one of the warders we seek. I'm afraid he is in no state to answer questions. Okay. I just won't be able to read that in time. That's so cool. That is so cool. Why can't we hear this music? Ooh, man, he's got a big circle around him. Oh wait, that's a dragoon thing. I'm so stupid. I forget. I'm not gonna lie. Warder's Wrath. Another AoE. Warder's Flail. Right side, go on the right side. That was beyond telegraph. We have 2 summoners. That's hilarious. Wait. Power of the ice. Okay. Oh, okay, so the bottom one's the one that goes off. So now I'm overwhelmed by the power of fire. Yeah, okay, I get it. I understand. I understand the trick. Hello? Why is this not working? I accidentally swapped it! Bro! Oh my god. I was like, what is going on? How did I accidentally swap this? What? That is so dumb. I'm so stupid. Okay. Okay, ether chain. Oh, we're so stupid. Deserve everything that's happening. Ether whale. This side. Ah, dang it, I wasn't paying attention. Ooh. I am going to die. I did it again. I did it. I am so lucky I'm alive right now. Overwhelmed by the fire. Overwhelmed by ice. I need to swap that back. Oh, I did the wrong one. Swap those real quick. There we go. Now my hotbar's back to normal. Shining cells. I feel like this is going to be some type of trap mechanic. Oh no, it's simply just this mechanic. Get on red and stay on the right side. Gather in. Either flail. He's gonna hit left side. And he's gonna hit blue. activate that because I can AoE. Yep. It's the one that already killed me last time. Nice. Go to this one. This one. Pain. Easy. Too easy. That is one down, baby. Let's go. Da, 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 da. Ba, 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 ba. Good job. Let's see. Monk resources on the balance Discord. Go check out the balance if you want to look at best in slot or anything of the sort. That's not what I was looking for exactly. I was looking for that. Let's see. So okay, now you've lost me. Let's go. Oh. I forgot that's how this worked. That's rough. I got one of the things, I guess. It was a thrilling display, and if I may be so vaunting, the warriors I spun from your ether fought even more splendidly than I had anticipated. I suppose they were cut from excellent cloth, after all. We should wait until this man regains his senses. He wears the robes of a warder, and I would be very curious to know what drove him to attack us sight unseen. More metal. He stirs. Hey, yo! Come here. I want to ask you some questions. I want to beat you around. Come on, I'm going to shake you up by your stupid robe, boy. What came over me? It is coming back to me. My mind was filled with a storm of desperation, anger. I leapt at you, though I knew not of your intentions. Pray accept my apologies, and my thanks. Do not knock some sense back into me. I may have fallen upon someone less capable of defending themselves. I am Erechthonios, a warder of Asphodelos, Pandæmonium's highest layer, and the place we're in now. One must wonder why you were so desperate to keep us out. What is happening in Pandæmonium? The creations interred with Asphodelos have been set free, and stock its halls to no end but violence. That is not good, to say the least. Has this ever happened before? No, never. Each level of Pandæmonium is under the charge of a key ward, who keeps strict control over the most minute aspects of the domain. They're selected with great care, and their loyalty to Master Lahabrea is absolute. Yet something has gone terribly wrong. Try as we might to hold the line, the chaos within is overwhelming. I hardly realized that I had become separated from my colleagues. I remember a chorus of whispers assailing my senses, and afterwards only flashes of rage and fury, then blackness, from which I awoke to find that whatever had overcome me was gone. I see. Your senses may have been muddled by magics that affect the mind. Perhaps the self-same ones that saw you separated from the other warders. Whatever had taken hold of me, thank you for releasing me from its clutches. That you've come here from the surface must mean some word of our plight has reached the outside world. If you know anything that may help, pray tell. Horror among horrors. So Pandæmonium's protections are indeed being dismantled from within. By the same individual, or individuals, that released its captives, and set them upon you, no doubt. Such knowledge avails us little, however, if we cannot ascertain their identity. Themis, was it? You said you worked for an organization under the auspices of the Convocation. Were they to receive word of what has transpired here, what measures would they take? Well, doubtless they would consider this place to be a lost cause. Pandæmonium's ties to the outside world would be severed, or perhaps it would be wiped from existence entirely. As I thought, were the creatures to escape into the outside world, there would be untold carnage. The words of Lahabrea would never risk that, despite what value the research subjects may hold. All the more reason to work with haste. If we can't expect further help, then it falls upon me to save the others. I'll not leave them behind. You would go alone. I won't leave the other warders to face certain doom. I know they fight for survival even now. They wouldn't abandon their duty. They would see the creatures return to their cells at all costs. And so I must do the same. Themis, I know the request I'm about to make of you is a monumental one, but please, say not a word of this to the Convocation until I've been given a chance to set things right. Forgive my rudeness, Erechthonius, but my decision cannot be swayed by emotion. You would be consigning yourself to an early death. Strength of resolve alone cannot win in the face of overwhelming odds. That being said, investigation has only just begun, and we would be remiss to turn back ere we've made an exhaustive survey, so for the time being, there's slightly more than resolve to rely upon. I knew you would be all too eager to join us. Each moment since you fell from the skies has been more interesting than the last. More and more you remind me of my dear friend, which goes some way toward encouraging me that this matter will yet reach a satisfactory conclusion. So, you agree to help? For the moment, our goals align. The protective magics of Pandæmonium yet hold, so for the moment, time is in our favor. Let us proceed upon the course you and Mohametal have set us upon. Themis and Mohametal, yes. Thank you. The warders owe you a great debt already. We shall be glad to have someone familiar with Pandæmonium's halls by our side. A party of 3 is ever so much more entertaining than a pair of 2. Now, let us return our attention to rescuing your colleagues. Perhaps it would be a prize to approach the gates. Good lord. Can I stop hiccuping? In case any have followed you out. Let's see. I will grab a direct hit. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, let me go and let these dogs out. Maya, wanna go outside? Maya, do you want to go outside? Want to go outside? Let's go outside. Go on, go outside. I'll be with you in a moment. Alright, let's start up this next one. Under the surface. Ericthonius is peering into the depths of Pandæmonium. I really don't know how this is going to wrap up. I feel like Elidibus has to lose his memory here. Because we already know that this timeline, like, whenever I go back, when I go back, for some reason it reconnects into mine. When Grahatia went back, it veered off on its own course, right? So, like, in Grahatia's timeline, the first was consumed by light. Everything was destroyed and killed. And thusly, they made it well into centuries later with the works of Sid and other researchers using the Crystal Tower. They woke Grahatia up. They sent him to the first across the rift 100 years before, and then they had him, like, pull me from the timeline, from the past, which caused the timeline to veer into a completely separate timeline, or actually him first traveling, it created a separate timeline entirely for both the first and the source to not have an eighth umbral calamity and, like, save the day. And the main difference being that in the original timeline, I was on the source trying to stop Black Rose from killing a bunch of people, the poison that the Empire was going to use. And since I was, like, being held and probably kept up with all of the world leaders of all the city-states and stuff like that, it got me killed on the front lines. But since Grahatia took me into the first and knocked out the rest of the Scions, it forced Estinian to be like, well, I gotta fight in their stead, and Gaius is already investigating it, and so that the difference in our timeline is I wasn't there, so Estinian and Gaius were forced to be pushed through, and because they worked together, Xenos heard about Black Rose. He heard about Black Rose from those two, so if in the original timeline, Xenos probably didn't hear about it, and Xenos wouldn't have killed his dad in the original timeline to stop the Eighth Umbral Calamity. But whenever I go back in the past, so far, at least the one time I have, it's like, nah, you don't get to change anything. Even though you're using the same crystal tower to do so. Why doesn't it work? I don't know. But if it happens here as well, then I'm just going to assume there's no possible way I can change anything in the past. On the source, maybe? I can't change anything on the source? Not a sound can be heard from within, which means neither creature nor warder has made it this far. We should begin forming a plan to save them at once. Forgive me if I misunderstand, but do you mean to rescue the warders and creations both? Naturally, although they may be dangerous, they're valuable research subjects. I wouldn't see our labor, our untold hours of study, go to waste. I dare say Loha Brea would smile to hear you say such a thing. That is, if we had cause to report this incident to him. Smile? I'm not sure his face is capable of such warmth. Ah. So you have met him before. I was under the impression he rarely visited Pandæmonium. I have, yes. My mentor was the previous head of this facility, that is to say, Loha Brea's predecessor in the position of Chief Keywood. Her name was Athena. She was a researcher with the words. So it was she who appointed me to this position, in fact. I see. I did not know there was a Chief Keyword before Loha Brea. Your motivation to save your research subjects is not entirely driven by duty to the words, then. You wish also to preserve the work of your mentor. You've the right of it. I'm lacking in ideas of how to go about that, however. I'm a mere warder and cannot wield intermittent magics. Ah. But of course I can hardly expect you to be versed in the magics we use here. If you recall, during our battle earlier, I bound you in ethereal shackles. Interment is a more refined and powerful magic based upon the same principles. While both are used to keep our subjects docile, only the keyword of each tier is permitted to use interment. Even if I were allowed, I lack the aptitude to use the spell to any notable effect. Fascinating. I have some knowledge of these forms of spellcraft, actually. La Habrea himself established their foundation, if I recall. While shackles are meant to bind an object in place for a short time, interment freezes the very space around it for as long as the caster wills. Indeed, while the illusory beings you summoned in our fight suggested as much, I see your knowledge of magic is vast. Perhaps you've already mastered the art of interment, and I've been lecturing you like a child all this time. I'm afraid my knowledge ends there. I have not had the precise understanding of how the invocations interact with the natural laws that would be needed to cast said spells with any consistency. While I consider myself well versed in various magics, I would be ill-advised to assume the duties of keyword without instruction. Excuse me. That being said, if I were to learn more of interment and its inner workings, perhaps... Well, you have a guy standing right in front of you who at the very least knows about it. Well, the solution is obvious when you put it like that. Eric Thonios, you implied that what prevented you from performing interment was lack of magical capability. What if I supplemented your power with my own? Will the spell succeed then? I can't say for certain. I've never heard of such a thing being done. I believe it may be our best recourse. That is, of course, assuming you can perform the initial rites and incantations flawlessly. Even the smallest misstep and we would have to start over. You needn't worry about that. I've seen the spells cast so many times that their motions have been burned into my memory. I won't disappoint. Very well. Let us work out the specifics afterwards. Once we do, we can test out our methods on one of the escaped creatures. I suppose there is the matter of finding one. It would be foolish to rush in blindly, lest we find ourselves surrounded with naught but an untested stratagem at our disposal. Nay, I would prefer to engage a single creature that Moemetal could dispatch on her own if the spell were to go awry. I agree, and I may have an idea in that regard. I recall seeing the hippocampus wandering the waterways during my fight. Perhaps it's still there. A few of the subjects housed within Asphodelis are fond of water, and I believe we'll be able to engage the beast without fear of unwanted guests. Just a few of them, okay. Then that shall be our first target, or perhaps subject is a better term. Before we commence with the interment magics, the creature should be weakened to a sufficient degree. I believe I can trust you with that task. As dependable as ever. Once you have given it a thorough trouncing, we shall bind this hippocampus with the keywords magic. Until then, my illusion shall fight by your side. The hippocampus will be alone, but it's a daunting opponent nonetheless. Its magic warps the environment around it, and it will be at home amidst the waterways. Steel yourself for a fight. Ooh, that first fight was really easy, but I heard that the second one's very fun. I think. I can't remember which ones my friend said he really liked. The second circle! Yeah, I had a feeling. See, La Habrea has always been a little dark for Asians. I never really thought to myself, like, oh yeah, there's a way to, like, reconcile the way he acts, right? I got 24 minutes? Bruh. That's a long waiting time. Hmm. 24 minutes. Good. OCP is planning for the next 10 years. Need to look at that article or something later. Video. It's very interesting. Yeah. Alright. I've been a professional dragoon for 15 and a half years, and am very sensitive to all of the energy forces that surround us. The scions are great, and the facility is clean, but when I walked into the studio, I was assaulted by the dark energy radiating from Tataru at the front desk. Lies, Justinian would never have the balls to say that publicly. The two Lalafels have him on a leash. My girlfriend, who has never played Final Fantasy XIV, tried guessing what the jobs are based on the job icons, enjoyed the results. Defender, axe wielder, magician, pirate, cat creature, dragon, weatherman, because it looks like a typhoon, hellcaster, grim reaper, wizard, nerd, because it looks like goggles, blocker, shields parts to the rectangles, lightcaster, because swords are revealing light. That's probably the closest one so far. Well, next to Grim Reaper. Dragon's not bad either. I guess Pirate's not too inaccurate either, now that I think about it. A Harpist, Sniper, Mage, Ninja, Trap Setter, Fencer, Rogue. Oh god, they think Blue Mage is the rogue. Oh no. Oh no. Teacher, blacksmith, helmet welder, jewelry maker, prison maker, chef, winemaker, baker, miner, farmer, fisher. Yeah, that's not hard. That's pretty accurate. Yes, the pumpkins are ready to pick when they become HD. This one's not ripe yet. The polygon count's still low. It's really funny. Black Mage is literally only one thing, and it's effing disgusting. 3 alms to 20. That is a big area. Good lord. I think I forgot something. Forgot then. It wasn't important. Yeah, you're right. So much missing anything and no mercy. Wish they would extend its duration a bit more. Oh, I actually I got a group. We're in it. What? Welcome. Very interesting creature. Murky depths. Ouch. This one is a doozy, let me tell you. Alright, thanks for the warning. Okay. Take double stack. Spoken. I couldn't see the tell for that, I just followed the rest of the people. Oh, his head. I see. His head's a separate thing. Can I target it differently? No, it's all one. Interesting. Very interesting. Sewage deluge. Oh. Ground is glowing. Rip that guy. I missed what that name was. Oh, stack, stack, stack. Uh-oh. What do we do here? Oh, I get it. I didn't see with the landing thing. He must have had a landing marker I missed. That's my fault. The landing marker looked like it was in the middle, but I guess it wasn't. I left that one I shouldn't have. Murky depths, here we go again. Okay, back to the middle. Facing forward, sewage deluge. Oh my god. Rip. That's Murky depths. Where'd the heck go? Me remembering I had arms linked with that last time that happened, I could have saved myself. I'm out. Why did I do that move? What is wrong with me? Sometimes I am not the smartest. Oh, that's why we don't go over that way. I will not survive if I go join them on that. Sorry. I didn't see the head leave for that second time. Ouch. Bloodbath, come to my aid. Thank you. Double impact? Oh, that's nice. I ain't gonna worry about it. Okay. This boss isn't so bad. Once you kind of put your brain to it, those guys are dead. Bruh. Oh, I was like, oh, I'm so dead now. This is death. Sewage eruption again. I'm gonna watch the head this time. Make sure it don't go nowhere. It does that head blast very often. It's honestly kind of scary. Yeah. Association. He goes again with his wacky, crazy movements. I have the weirdest rotation right now. Everything I'm doing is very wrong. I ain't gonna be fooled. Mining a sewage eruption? Ooh, perfect spot, perfect spot. Get in here, get in here, get in here. Ouch. I would like to openly declare my love for Riddle of Earth and everything it stands for. He hits with those AoEs. Like those AoEs don't even have any vuln stacks, and still the past few times he has like melted me. He hits hard with those. Oh no, I use this at the exact worst time. I don't. Oh man, that sucks. That's fine. Tainted blood. Oh, that's not it. How did you die? How are you touching it? You're like in the same line that I am. Very strange. I feel so sorry for you. Yes, all of us stacked in one spot. It's ingenious. Oh, this is not ingenious. This was not ingenious. This was not ingenious. This was not ingenious. An actual raid, I would definitely be talking to my party about, like, rip that guy. Just come over to where we were. Wait, does it have to be like? I'm gonna heal for a lot of super crews for this. Yeah, I imagine, dude. Easy. It's just too easy. It's just like that. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. That's 2 raids, baby. That's 2 raids. I died once in this. Ooh, that was cool. That was really cool. I gotta learn that spell. I don't know why I did that. Good job. So I already got one of those. Do one of these equal one of the totems? Or like, what is it? Because I haven't really looked, so I don't know what... I thought you got totems directly, which is a really stupid thought to have. So, do I grab... Like, I got this one last time. It's the one I got. And of course, I couldn't grab any others. So... Whatever. I'll find out later. I knew that you were no mere mercenary, but to make such clean work of the hippocampus. Seasoned fighters scarcely have occasion to visit Pandæmonium, let alone display their skills. Mastery takes all forms indeed. Needless to say, our plan worked to perfection. In no small part thanks to you two. Themis's power was more than enough to complete the interment. Spellcasting was never my strong suit, but that almost made me feel like a proper magos, whatever. Truly, having seen your abilities firsthand in your fight with Mometal, I beg to disagree. Shackles is the one exception. It is only because I've been forced to practice it since I was but a small child. Other magics leave me feeling completely out of my depth. Regardless, it seems luck is on my side to guide me to you. We may prove the impossible possible after all. While our success in sealing away the hippocampus is certainly heartening, the fact that we have yet to see any other warders concerns me. The key ward of Asphodelos is nothing if not cautious. Doubtless he has gathered what warders he could and retreated to a safe area. Let us hope so. It occurs to me that I know little of the key wards besides their magical prowess. Is there aught more you can share? Certainly. Whoa. Of course, a man named Hesperos is in charge of Asphodelos. Not only does he have thorough knowledge of the creatures here, but he takes great pains to be a mentor to each of the warders under his charge. He has done much to ensure that I flourished here, in spite of my ineptitude at magic, and I have always known him to be the sort of man who faces difficult decisions with unwavering composure. Furthermore, keywards are not only masters of interment, they can also bend the hallways of Pandæmonium to their will with creation magics. With all this in mind, I am certain that so long as Hesperos guides them, the other warders are safe. I can see why absolute control over the environs is imperative. Had we faced the hippocampus upon arid sands instead of the waterways, I suspect the battle would have ended much more quickly. In any case, if this Hesperos is as capable and caring as you say, we would do well to seek him out as soon as we can. He has like as not taken your colleagues to a secure location. The safest place would be the innermost circle of Asphodelos. From there they could flee to Abyssos if hard-pressed. Even should they have sought safe haven within the other circles, if we make for the fourth, we ought to encounter them on the way. Indeed, and we shall gain a comprehensive understanding of the situation within Asphodelos, which will be essential in determining whether we ought to continue down to Abyssos. The rub, of course, is that I myself possess no power to bend the circles to my will. Instead, we must proceed through the central corridor, which was barred by the Phoenix, last I checked. Phoenix. I have heard the name before. A fiery bird with eternal life. Beyond unquenchable brilliance, the perfected concept boasts nigh boundless restorative powers, if I can recall. Truly an exemplary feat of creation magics. Perfection is ever built on the back of failure, however, and Nahabrea suffered countless missteps during his experiments. And he was hardly the only one. This Phoenix will be but one of many attempts at the concept gone awry. Far from evoking wonder, our Phoenix is a creature of fury and wrath, and seeks only to turn the world to ash. Thus was it confined within Pandæmonium. Development of the concept continued elsewhere, but as the moons turned, more and more researchers abandoned the project as an impossibility, save for Nahabrea and his words. When I received word that at long last Nahabrea had succeeded where many others had failed, I was nearly overcome. Pray tell, how did the warders of Pandæmonium celebrate their master's accomplishment? I don't believe we did. The research of the words of Nahabrea has little consequence to our work here, save for those rare times it charges us with a new specimen. Truth be told, I don't remember anyone making note of the occasion. But, enough reminiscing. We must make ready to confront the Phoenix. While it's possible that it flew off to some other wing of Pandæmonium, we would make that assumption at our own peril. Better to assume that we'll need to bring Asphodelos is most unruly subject to heal. I certainly see no reason to delay. The Phoenix's power over flame will avail it far less in a barren corridor than elsewhere, so it may well serve us to subdue it sooner rather than later. Hello? What? It seems whoever is behind this can alter the space around us at will. We face an uphill battle. Well, it looked like impossible. If those were creation magics at work, then that means... Let us confront that reality after we have conquered the enemy in front of us. Every drop of our focus shall be required if we are to inter the Phoenix. Here. This is getting interesting. Do the third circle. I'm gonna let the dogs back in. We'll try to get the fourth one done as well. Hey. I'm enjoying these. These are really good. Honestly, these are very, very fun. Healer, you have a team, we swear. Just look upon the commence. You have like 20 seconds. You have 10 seconds. Thank God. Asphodelos, the third circle. This might have some similar mechanics to the what's-her-face trial and Stormblood. Mythic creation. Onyx. It's very, very cool. That is not the move I want to do. Oh. I see. Okay. And of course I got hit by that one. I don't remember there being a middle one. Darkened fire. I'm 2. Oh, I was supposed to stand on that. I get it. Oh man, I am not following this one as well as I did the last one. Obvious enough. Pulling big ol' orange. Right, singularly. We easily escape that. Pushing flight. Possibly an AoE on the right side. Oh, okay, I see. Little ones. Okay. Salvation. It's a basic AoE. Experimental sharp wound. I got hit by that one the first time. I still didn't see what it said or what the body language was. I wasn't paying attention. I think I barely made it out of that. Dang it. I can imagine that number mechanic is going to be very important. In the wasn't paying attention again. In the Savage version. This is why I can't talk while gaming. I just get myself killed. Add too many bone stacks. Thank you very much for the res. I appreciate it. Uh-oh. Eh. Okay. This time I can do this mechanic correctly. Let's go. Again, dude. I still wasn't looking when that happened. I still don't know. Every time I am hit by that, man. Steering breeze seems to be the There we go. Whew. Worst of the three so far that I've done. Not just my gameplay. That was really cool. I enjoy some of the subtler mechanics. It's very AoE based, this one. Not so, I mean, all of them are AoE based, but this one in particular, I felt like I was doing really nothing but just looking at the orange. But the occasional, like, the 1, 2, 3, 4, gotta take out the darkest fire type stuff, that was interesting. The slowly, like, encompassing fire lines. That's not something they haven't done before, I don't think, but it's not used very often. That was very cool. Cool. Little stream. Bro, why is that on? That should not be on. I thought I had it on that one the entire time. I guess I didn't. Well, the deal is that that wasn't supposed to be there. The point of that, normally, is so like, if I wanted to go and pull up this, and I would like, or like Reddit, and I wanted to queue into something, I turn that on so that way I can look over and I can see if my queue is about to pop up. Of course, the problem generally being that there's no way for me to, there's no way for, at least, there's a way, but I don't know how to do it yet, where you can automatically transition, like, the background. So if I were to put this up, like, I have to drag the screen over. What I want to be able to do is to, like, swap the gameplay out and then put the browser up from the button itself, but I haven't figured out how to set up that multi-action yet. So I guess I accidentally left it on the last time I had Reddit up. So I don't know how long that's been there. Probably a while. Which is fine. That's fine. With that, the Phoenix is shackled once more. However, there is yet the matter of this arena. As you've told us, there's but one person in Asphodelos with the ability and authority to wield such magics. Though fortunately, it appears he has saved us the trouble of finding him. A contemptible display, as befits an inferior specimen. Even so, I expected it would at least delay your advance. Imagine my surprise when I saw the chains of interment drag the Phoenix back to its cage. Either the bird is even more of a failure than its creators care to admit, or you are no mean trespassers. I had hoped our suspicions were misplaced, but alas... Some type of transformation. Literally a vampire. Keyword Hesperos. Why? Why have you brought such chaos to your beloved Pandæmonium? Pandæmonium. Pitiless, impenetrable, and utterly steadfast. Unlike those charged with its keeping. What has possessed you? I don't understand. Oh, Erechthonios, you must pester me with these inane questions. Think for yourself. Surely you can muster a theory or two with that dim wit of yours. Then again, you have never been one for insight. Why Master La Habrea suffers your mediocrity, and I shall never understand. You may look like him, but you're not the Hesperos I know. Something has warped you, too. From the inside out. The keyword I knew had compassion for all those under his charge, be they clad in robes or shackled in chains. Was that all a farce? Did you hide your contempt for us all these years? Those who are content to merely glimpse the water's surface are doomed to be dragged into its depths. You prove my opinion of you with every word. My mind is clearer than it has ever been. Even now, seeing you feebly grasp for answers makes the bile rise in my throat. Such wasted potential. To be son to Master La Habrea. Sorry. I'm sorry, what? explains a lot of the disdain, man. It's like, you don't like a guy, you're just like, nah, we didn't really celebrate or anything. Master Labrea is kind of a jerk. But to be like, he has no warmth in his heart. It's like, bro, how do you know him so well? To be son to Master Lahabrea, yet no more skilled with magics than a newborn babe. But of course, it's always about Lahabra. This is a long interruption. Long pause before the interruption. Silence! You are not worthy to utter his name. For once, be grateful to witness a feat beyond your meager abilities. Beyond your shallow reckoning, I have slipped the surly bonds of mortality. I have become one with our mythic creations and rid myself of imperfections. I stand upon the threshold of godhood. As a Hemitheos shall I serve Master Lahabrea, ever faithful to the end of days. And he shall require no other. I think not. Wow. Are you so blinded by arrogance that you have lost sight of what it means to serve? Ericthonios is more capable than you could ever know. It was thanks to his instruction that I was able to master the art of interment, both how to wield it and how to break free of it. Mo Metal, let us quit this place. Whatever poison has corrupted Hesperos' mind, it is plain his power far eclipses our own. We must have time to gather our strength. Solar flare! So we're fighting a vampire. Weaklings though they may be, it takes a singular aptitude to master interment so quickly. To say nothing of how swiftly that familiar laid low the Phoenix. Regardless, their noble aims will be their undoing. Where they fritter away their strength in calming the beasts of Asphodelos, I continue my work. Even should they survive long enough to reach the heart of my domain, naught shall await them but doom. I eagerly await your arrival, Ericthonios. Even dullards have their uses. Seriously, when does this take place? My darkest suspicions have been realized. We face the keyword of Asphodelos himself. More than that revelation, however, Ericthonios worries me. He loved Hesperos for his compassion, but received naught but scorn from whatever the keyword has become. He has said little since our return. I only hope that the shock of recent events does not prove to be a death knell for his resolve. I'll grab some bullets. Who wards the warders? Ooh. Venus would offer what comfort he can to Ericthonios. Much as I am loath to disturb Ericthonios so soon after what just occurred, I am afraid circumstances do not afford us the luxury of time. Perhaps it will do him well to speak about recent events, concerning both the keyword and his father. Oh, right. The doggos. Be right back. Sorry about that. The creation of the ward which surrounds Pandæmonium was an astonishing feat of magical prowess. A feat accomplished by none other than Lohabrea. That both my father and I can bind others in chains is perhaps the only thing that we have in common. Ah, so it is true. I'm Lohabrea's son, bereft of his talent for magic or his brilliant mind, but a son nonetheless. Surely this doesn't come entirely as a surprise to you. Nay, I had an inkling when you said you had practiced ethereal shackles since childhood. Assuming you haven't been employed here quite that long, had to indicate some long-held connection with Lohabrea. 'Twas Lohabrea that taught me how to cast ethereal shackles. That was it. My further education was overseen by the words of Lohabrea, more specifically my mother, who is a researcher there. You did speak of Athena, chief keyword before Lohabrea. She is your mother, yes? How astute. I can see now why you were chosen to lead this investigation. You've the right of it. Athena was my mother, and it was she who invited me to join her here. Lohabrea had nothing to do with it. I see there is little love lost between you two. What I cannot see is why Lohabrea was appointed chief keyword when another was already in place. Was in place. My mother is no longer with us. And Lohabrea was all too eager to assume her responsibilities, with nary a moment spared to mourn her. What love do I owe him now, when he offered not one drop of compassion then? Ah, I see. She is no longer with us. An expression to convey the end of her life. I have known only the public face of Lohabrea. While he is lauded for his ability to maintain composure in the face of unnerving circumstances, I must admit that oft he comes across as cold. Apologies, but can we speak of something else? This topic isn't an easy one for me to discuss. Of course, there are more pressing matters at hand after all. Namely how to deal with Hesperos. We have yet to see the other warders. Judging by what we know, we can surmise that Hesperos has confined them somewhere beyond our grasp. And now that he is aware of our presence, we will be preparing for our next encounter. We cannot expect to face him on equal footing. Quite the opposite, in fact. Every moment we spend chasing after the creations is another moment Hesperos can contrive another advantage for himself. The wisest course would be to find him first and foremost. He said that he has become one with the creations. Perhaps that means he is vulnerable to interment. In theory, that should be possible. However, is it enough to merely confine him? Is it enough merely to confine him, after all he has done? I need to know why. I need to know what drove him to forsake everything he's worked for. Was it truly so that he could serve his master? To my mind, he's merely put Lohabrea's own work at risk in trade for some nebulous power. Lohabrea is the chief keyword of Pandæmonium. How would throwing it into disarray win his favor? It doesn't make any sense. I share your curiosity, but we must consider that our enemy has us at a disadvantage in every sense. What do you think? Should we seek to put him in fetters, or would it be too dangerous to allow him quarter? I'm really curious, to be perfectly honest. Daring as ever, I see. I know not which trials you have faced in your past, but to see you so certain is all the convincing I need. Very well, let us try Chthonius' plan. Thank you, Moemetal. I believe I can shed some light on the nature of our foe. When Hesperos spoke with us, I noticed he bore the telltale fangs of Vircolacus, a beast which feeds off the ether of its prey. Likely that is the creation Hesperos merged his essence with. And we all know too well that he can change the environment around himself at will. The battle will not be an easy one, but I believe in our victory. Woo! Yeah! Fourth circle! Let's go! I've done the first three decently well. Just to see if this is going to go anywhere near as well as the other three have. It's gonna be so weird being just done for now. I came in during Shadowbringers, and Endwalker was nowhere near close to being out. And I think patch 5.5 or something like that had just dropped, or like 5.6, whatever the last story beat was for Shadowbringers. I joined right before, and then it dropped almost immediately after I started playing. And my friends were going through it, and they were having a time. And, you know, I was wrapping up. Well, I actually had started playing well beforehand, like right when Shadowbringers had first come out as a whole. And then I just kind of dropped off for like... I played like on and off through Realm Reborn, and then I dropped off... for a long while, and then I got back on and finished the Realm Reborn, and then I dropped off again for a while. And I changed my character look. I was a Hearer before, now I'm an Aura. And I kind of burned through all the DLCs afterwards. It's the simple timeline of events. Alright, we're just looking for one more tank. But it says 12 minutes. Tanks really are the current insta-pop button. Okay. Let's go with the Reddit again some more. Let's go to new. Oh, whoa! That's kind of nice. I doubt that's every mount in the game, but those are... Some of those mounts are not easy to get. I already saw a couple that are like... kind of a yikes moment. They're not fun. Oh, so this guy saw the same post as well. Too many explanations, though. What? Oh. It almost made it seem like he's just like beating things immediately, and I was like, that's really weird. I feel like I will save this for later. I'm just gonna go and put it in the meme chat. And watch it later. Slowing house. Oh, her place. I was like, what are we talking about here? Oh, refugees. I got you. I got you, brother. Oh no, you don't. Saying it, Chief. Yeah, see, it's funny, but yeah, like, Final Fantasy players are very open and welcoming. Oh, man. Wait, what? Just give him a million gil for like no reason. Alrighty. Chris, is this what you were talking about earlier? Is this it? Chris, this is what you're talking about. Oh my god. Is this indeed it? It does, you know, I don't play healer, but I think even oh sweet jeez, even I can tell that it's a very it's a minefield of a raid. Tightening everything up to like a stretch of like 4 wide corners in a tiny little hallway, essentially. You have a bunch of new players going in there, and then probably about like 90% of the people you play with don't have like a random voice in their head from God talking to them, and a bunch of other people who, and then the people who don't aren't even like paying attention, or even the people who do aren't paying attention. Ooh. I also have purple eyes. Theos. Hold on. Ooh. Ah. Well, already apparently I haven't. I don't even know what I did wrong that time. I am so confused. You got me on this one, dude. I have no idea what's going on. What am I doing wrong? What? I didn't see anyone walking anything. I forgot Chris is a mod. That's a good point. I didn't see anyone walking anything. I didn't see... I'm so confused. I've been able to figure out every other one, but I have no clue what's happening here. Blood Rig. And AoE apparently. Nothing special. Arena wide. Blown coils. So, wait. I don't get it. I am so confused. Yeah, spikes are sharp. That's just not fair. That one wasn't my fault. I literally couldn't move. Also, where am I in like 2 seconds of invincibility, France? That's so annoying. Okay, then I don't touch that one because it's non-DPS. Alright. Do I take it or? Alright. Oh, DPS just can't touch it at all. Well, I wasn't able to move. I tried to move, it wouldn't let me. That's kind of why. What happens if I stand over here? I've literally not understood a single mechanic except for the teleporting ones. I have literally no idea. I hate not knowing what's going on. I hate not being able to figure it out. I'm very frustrated right now. Obvious. I don't know what any of the platforms are. I don't see anyone do anything, they just stand around. Watch as no one moves. And I'm the only one who dies. I have nothing different on me. How did I survive that time? I don't understand. I don't get it. I was all the way up against the corner, and I don't think I was touching the walls. I'll go back to the VOD. I swear to God, I really don't think I was touching the walls. Cause when I got to the corner, I didn't move. So like I get to the corner, I don't move, and the lightning goes off, and I died immediately. I died to the lightning, and the lightning killed me every single time. And I was where everyone else was for almost every single time except for one of them, and I died every time. Except for that last one, where I didn't have any buff or debuff. Like, I swear to God, I was right where everyone else was every single time, except for one time when I was standing like right here trying to get to them over there, and it killed me. So, I don't get it. The wall thing was just like, I forgot the walls were there, the first pushback, and then the second pushback wasn't my fault, because I literally couldn't move after a res. So I know there's something I'm not understanding. I'm very aware of this. But also very annoyed that I don't get it. Dang, I didn't get it. Okay, I'll just get another one of those. We can check the clips. We'll check the VOD. Because I do not understand what happened. Now, Themis, we end this here. Fools, I will not be put in chains. To think that I would fall before one such as you. Perhaps I should have treated you as more than a mere nuisance. Despite your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek. The secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception, they shall return to the star with me. You're wasting your breath, Hesperos. We have the upper hand now. Surely you can see that. Yes, yes. My repertoire is not exhausted yet, however. Although I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. I remain loyal to my very last. Come what may, I die with dignity. How did your ambition lead you so astray, Hesperos? You were better than that. Your star shone more brightly than any other in Pandæmonium. You had La Habrea's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? That you would forsake all that, and solely your legacy besides. He became so blinded by his own desires that he lost sight of his duty. In the end, he lost everything, and his plans lie in tatters. I failed to see any dignity in that. Even so, I would have liked to know why he chose this path. Hesperos' infatuation with your father was his undoing. Perhaps he was jealous that fate had chosen you, and not him, to be La Habrea's son. So terrible did this jealousy become that he sought verboten power. Power that La Habrea would be unable to ignore. How does a pursuit for respect warps one's heart so? How does infatuation with one person turn into contempt for everyone else? I've never heard of such a thing. I see. I admit I cannot but find it vexing, but perhaps that signifies not but my own capacity for bitterness. I do understand what it is to have a beacon to follow in dark times, a person you trust to guide you true, how it is to desperately wish their light would fall upon you again. But we have spent enough time assuming the intentions of the departed. There are the living to consider. We must find the other warders and round up the remaining creations forthwith. Of that, at least, we can be certain. I believe I can be of help in that matter. The influence of Hesperos' magic is fading throughout Asphodelos. Now is the perfect opportunity to seize control of the facilities and restore things to their original state. Seize control? Can you really do that? What? What is this presence? Erechthonios, what lies beyond that threshold? That's the passage which connects Asphodelos to Abyssos. Why? Be on your guard, you two. Now that Asphodelos is free of obstructions, I can more easily sense disturbances in the lower levels. Something stirs in Abyssos. Ooh. Warding sigil? How? Let us return to the gates for now. I should like to apprise the situation from there. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. Thonk. Gotta wait. Gotta wait till next patch. Or actually, I don't know how long we have to wait. 6.1? 6.1? Do we have to wait till 6.1? Although we have defeated Hesperos, it appears we have but scratched the surface of Pandæmonium's troubles. My head is still swimming with questions. But could this mean that Hesperos wasn't actually behind this? It is a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even Abyssos. When we first encountered you, you said the memories of your escape were vague, and that your senses were muddled. I believe this was more than the result of a panicked mind. You were made to feel this way by a powerful magical influence. It is possible that the same magic could have poisoned Hesperos' heart, twisting his affection for La Habrea into a burning obsession. Then, in his altered state, he was made an offer of power he could not refuse. Wait, are you suggesting that someone else turned Hesperos into that thing? If so, it stands to reason that they wouldn't stop at him. Indeed, our mysterious mastermind does not lack for subjects for his experiments. For more potential hemithoi. If what you're saying is true, then my colleagues, they're doomed to share the same fate as Hesperos. Do not lose heart yet, Erechthonios. Hesperos challenged us alone, and that tells me that the process of his creation was a long and taxing one. If he was the first Hemitheos, then the rest of the warders are likely still alive. However, much as I would like to hasten deeper into the Pandæmonium, the way forward is sealed off. We must focus our efforts on finding a way through. With the creation still having free reign of Asphodelos, that won't be easy. On the contrary, I yet retain control of these circles, and thus can wield intimate magic within their halls at will. The creatures will pose no threat to us. Just like that. Then nothing stopping us from returning order to Asphodelos. Just so. I shall require your expertise to keep the peace after the subjects have been returned to the confinement, however. You are Asphodelos' sole remaining warder, after all. Truth be told, I did not expect this investigation to become so involved. Of course, I would like to resolve matters here without resorting to outside help, but... Do you mean to send a report to La Habrea? 'Tis too soon to say. Let us first find a way into Abyssos. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we have ascertained the whereabouts of the other warders and the identity of the party responsible for the disappearance. Agreed. Even so, if it means saving even a single life within Pandæmonium, then I'm not above asking La Habrea for help, should it come to that. Recent discoveries certainly paint Hesperos's actions in a new light. The number of unknown elements in this investigation grows, and we must proceed forward with the utmost caution. To that end, Eric Thonios and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I do not believe we shall be needing protection so long as we remain in Asphodelos. You should take this time to rest. Surely you are weary, and there may be more battles ahead of us. Themis' burden may grow heavier in your absence, but he's shown that he's more than capable to bear it. Still, I would help wheresoever I am able. All we've achieved so far has been thanks to you two, and I mean to repay the debt I owe. I don't know what use I can be outside of placating the creatures, but I'll find a way. Nonsense, you owe us nothing. It is thanks to your knowledge of the magics which govern this place that we were able to come this far. Elsewise, we would have likely succumbed to the hippocampus's assault. Each of us has arrived at this dire pass by separate paths, but it is only by combining our respective expertise that we will reach the end of it and see Pandæmonium saved. Thank you, Themis. Hesperos's words seem to have affected me more than I realize. Together we've come this far, and together we'll reach the end. I have no doubt we will. Even so, let us allow Moemetal her rest. Besides, you have someone awaiting a report on your progress, yes? I dare say your story will be much more than they ever imagined. It almost begs the question, like, why do I have to take care of this? Is it just a bootstrap paradox, like, where it had been taken care of, and then, like, I go back to take care of it, so it gets taken care of? Because if I didn't go, no one else would have. But that's not possible, because it was already taken care of. But how would... But then... Bootstrap paradoxes. I still beg the question of, like, you know... Why? Welcome, Moemetal. Back from the past, none the worse for wear, I see. So, what did you find? So there's this guy. And these monsters. And I punch. The end. So there is evil afoot in Pandæmonium, an already ominous place, I must say. Mythic beasts and missing warders. Truly, we are fortunate to see you return to us in one piece. It appears the voice Moemetal heard from the crystal spoke the truth. As for who left it behind, and why, those are yet questions to be answered. Indeed, it could be someone who lived among the ancients, or it could be someone trying to avert a tragedy from the future. Much remains shrouded in mystery. Yet ilm by ilm we shall unveil that mystery, with help of Moemetal, of course. By her actions was the fabric of the past reshaped, yet she returns to the same present she left. Which can only mean one thing, that her intervention in Pandæmonium's crisis is but one of the countless building blocks of history upon which our present has been built. Correct? Once again, I cannot change the future, yet Graha Teal was able to. I sincerely don't know why. There is no telling what consequences would arise if we stopped pursuing this matter now. Whatever plot is unraveling within Pandæmonium, we must not let it reach its conclusion. If one of those creatures should escape, what ripples would carry forth to the future? They might wreak havoc upon the world of the ancients, and their despair would leave an indelible mark upon history's pages. That despair would only feed the terrible beasts that arose during the final days. The first final days already had a drastic effect on the eons that followed. If the scars it left were made even deeper, then we risk losing our present entirely. Whatever the cost, our connection with the future of Elpis must be preserved. I know I have asked much of you already, but can I count on you to continue your work in Pandæmonium? Your tireless efforts are much appreciated. If there is aught we can do to ease your burden, you need only say the word. Speaking of which, might you return the crystal to our keeping? While we cannot accompany you to the past, perhaps something can be gained by researching it further. Ah, it shines just as splendidly as the day we met. We shall begin work right away, but I cannot promise anything meaningful for some time. And as matters in Elpis seem to be in a similar state, I must ask that you rest. But before that, allow me to make an introduction. As our research moves into its critical stage, I found it only suitable to recruit another assistant. Mylene is an expert in armaments from throughout history, be they from the far-flung past or made in the most modern forges. Should you find aught of interest in your adventures, bring it here and she will be glad to offer her services. We know researchers in numerous fields that would love to get their hands on artifacts from bygone eras, and would give you goods in return that should aid in your trials ahead. Furthermore, if you ever wish to peruse the records of events you have reported here, NMGG has been taking faithful and thorough notes. She is at your complete disposal. I sense that we have embarked upon something monumental. Something that will dwarf all else I have accomplished in my many years of research. I can think of no greater honor, nor reassurance, than to have your capable assistance in this endeavor. If there is anything to be found that will contribute to your success, we shall find it. Sundered Erichthonios. Claudian. Sundered Erichthonios. Claudian. Equal. I am big braining this right now. That is Sundered Erichthonios. 100%. That's one of his reflection pieces of his soul. Just throw that out there. Making the long shot call. We shall not rest until we have unlocked the mysteries of this crystal. And you will be the first to know when we do. I don't use any of that, but I do use skill speed. Did I get any of these? Oh, no, those are from the... No. So, wait, how do you get the, close that out. Bow, bow, bow. So how do you get the Asphodelos knuckles and stuff? Because you need totems to purchase those. So I don't understand. It's purely savage. Ah. I haven't really looked at what this looks like for me. I'm gonna go and put that on. Let's look at the fit. Let's look at the fit. The arms. Oh, they're so cool. Oh, those are so cool. Oh. God, those are so cool. Okay. Whew. Almost lost my cool there. Am I wearing? Hold on, put those away. Weird. I don't really like that. I don't like any headpieces in this game. Not bad. Not bad so far. Yes! This gear is very nice. This is very nice gear. It looks so good. It looks so good. I would personally, put an Asian, or just an ancient face mask as my headpiece for glamour, and I feel like this outfit would be, mwah, mwah, beautiful. Maya, do you understand the implications of this? Do you understand the power of glamour we have here? She's so confused. My God. How do it die? Yeah. Yeah, I'm tearing up. I like this so much. Not that color, though. This dies so well. It dies so well. It dies so well. Oh my God. It all looks so good to me. This is the fit. This is the new fit, brothers. Actually, this looks way better all of a sudden. This is the new fit. We're getting it. We're getting it. Every last piece of gear will be mine. This is only the first set. We're only on the first set. We haven't even entered the other two sets of gear, Maya. We haven't even entered the other two sets of gear. Do you understand? We're not even in the other two sets. I'm emotional. I can't get. That's so cool. That's so cool. Those are so cool. They're a little clunky on the sides, I will admit. I don't really the profile, but whose profile ever looks good? But from the front. But from the front. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. what do I do with the, radiant stuffs? So... So, that's only about 90 stuff for that. So I could get a necklace. Could get a... Oh. Bracelet. Got two. I got a bracelet and a ring. Inch our way ever closer to ultimate power. Wait, so then that is probably... Yep. Well, Metal, allow me to thank you personally for your contribution to our research. Your stories of the Ancients' creations have planted the seeds of a great many theories, and I cannot wait for them to flourish. Professor Claudian has asked me to write detailed records of your investigation. If you wouldn't mind staying for a while, I would ask you to tell me more of your adventures in the past. Adventures that started with that mysterious crystal, seemingly containing a message declaring a crisis in this Pandæmonium, of course. Professor Claudian will eventually make a report, but we are deficient on concrete facts at present. To that end, I suppose a comprehensive catalogue of the beasts you encountered in the Asphodello circles would be a fine starting point. Yes, I require every gory detail, every hair-raising description. Nemgigi, I've brought the volumes you asked for, but are you quite certain we need all of this just to research the crystals? Some of these habitats of aquatic life forms and myths and folklore of the phoenix, for example, seem to have little bearing on the subject. In fact, many of these tomes seem to be related to the creatures of Pandæmonium Mometal spoke of. Surely we have better things to do with our time. Mometal has already encountered and subdued them, so what use could further insight offer her? On the contrary, Rusno, we would be remiss in our duty as academics not to take every opportunity to learn more of these subjects. To view the creatures of bygone times through the lens of modern science is a dream so few have the chance to achieve. Of course, I'll not deny a personal interest in the matter. As I thought. Well, there were enough relevant volumes for me to fulfill your request this once. If you wish to sate your appetite for knowledge again, might you do so on your own time. Ahem. Shall we proceed? Tell me everything you remember, and please spare not a single detail. I don't easily frighten, you may be assured. We might start with your battle with this transformed warder, Erichthonios, was it? I would also like to hear of the keyword and the nature of his metamorphosis. Good. Thank you for this priceless information. While I'm disappointed I couldn't behold your foes with my own eyes, your stories have given me more than enough to write sufficiently thorough descriptions. Perhaps we should also include basic theories concerning the growth and behavior of these creatures. It would give our little catalogue some flavor, wouldn't you agree? We could start with... Ah, I have it. Aquatic life forms in our time have been observed to grow to sizes that are orders of magnitude larger than their larval forms. In fact, it may not be so preposterous to posit that the hippocampus you encountered was merely the larval form of a much more massive, and dare I say horrific, entity. Now, don't look at me like I'm some mad magus. Breakthroughs have been precipitated by even wilder theories than that. As the professor always says, we mustn't let logic stand in the way of brilliance. Until proven one way or the other, every hypothesis is a valid one. Ah, there is nothing quite like the ambrosia of inspiration. So are we making fairy tales, or are we gonna actually write down what happened? So long as I make a note in the margins of my records indicating that a theory is unproven, we can let our imaginations run wild. Yes, I said our. You needed to be a researcher to have an idea that will leave its mark for generations. Cool. Alright, so the savages are now unlocked. Not that I think that I'm ready for, Oh! Apparently I'm good enough to do the first one. Can't do it tonight, though. I have a meetup with some friends. They will be over here in about 16 minutes, so, or less. So I need to go ahead and end stream here, but I am glad to have gotten all the raids done. I'm going to be saving this one and a couple of a couple of the past streams as well, to highlights if anyone needs to or wants to rewatch. Feel free to clip when I died in that last in the fourth circle. Please do so. And tell me how I was standing so close to the wall in the corner and that I wasn't doing everything everyone else was. I know there was something I wasn't doing, very clearly, but I never saw anyone else move. They just kind of stood there. No, it wasn't like everyone moved to where the black curtain laid on the ground and created the area. It wasn't like everyone ran off of it. It was like no one did anything and then ran to the corner. He shot electricity and I died. No one else did. So I don't know what the mechanic was that I was missing. I don't know if it was like stop attacking or what, but everyone was attacking, so I'm just baffled. So please, do go back through that and tell me why I'm wrong. Because I just don't understand. Again, there was one time where I was very close to the electric blast and I got absolutely destroyed by it, but that was one time. Every other time I was in the corner. Very far in the corner, so just seems unrealistic. Maybe my eye level was a little too low and I needed to be even farther. Maybe I needed to literally be in the very, very tip point of the corner. I don't know. That's for rewatching. That speculation's for the rewatch. Anyways, I really appreciate everyone who stopped by the stream. It was very kind of you guys to show up. Thank you for watching my hectic one-person learnings of these raids and having no clue what I'm doing. We'll be grinding out some more of this. I can't do it tomorrow, so maybe we'll do some of the hard trials tomorrow if my friends are available, some of the extremes, if I'm able to do those. That would be something I'd love to look into. I guess I could also do the first Savage raid, or learn it. We could do some learning stuff tomorrow if my friends are available. But we will, I will plan that out and I'll put out a post later talking about when I'll be streaming tomorrow and what I'll be doing if I end up doing any of that. So look out for that. I really appreciate everyone to stop by, and once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.